You are not tired because you work too much. You are tired because your mind never rests. Every day looks normal from the outside. You wake up, you check your phone, you respond to messages you don't care about, you do what is expected, you sleep, and yet something feels off. Not sadness, not depression, just a quiet heaviness you can't explain. You tell yourself you just need rest, a break, a vacation, more sleep, but rest doesn't fix it. Because the problem is not your body, it's your mind. Your mind is never still, never silent, never truly present. It is constantly reacting to opinions, to comparisons, to expectations, to things that don't actually matter. And every reaction takes something from you: energy, clarity, peace. Most people don't realize this. They think exhaustion comes from doing too much. But the truth is darker. Exhaustion comes from thinking too much, feeling too much, reacting too much. Stoicism warned about this long before phones, notifications, and social media. The Stoics believed the greatest threat to the human mind was not pain, but uncontrolled. When your attention belongs to everything, your mind belongs to nothing. Think about how easily your mood changes. One comment can irritate you for hours. One message can distract you for an entire day. One small inconvenience can steal your peace. That is not because you are weak. It is because your mind has no boundaries. You let everything in, every thought, every emotion, every opinion. And an open mind without discipline becomes a battlefield. Marcus Aurelius wrote that your life is shaped by your thoughts. Not some of them, all of them. Now ask yourself honestly, what kind of thoughts dominate your day? Worry, self-doubt, replaying conversations, imagining future problems, comparing your life to others. Your mind is constantly working against you, and you wonder why you feel drained. The mind was never meant to be busy all the time. It was meant to be directed. But instead of direction, most people live in reaction. They react before they think. They speak before they pause. They feel before they choose. And every uncontrolled emotion costs energy. Anger drains you. Jealousy drains you. Overthinking drains you. Needing validation drains you. You don't notice it immediately. It happens slowly, day by day, thought by thought, reaction by reaction, until one day you wake up and feel tired for no reason. That is mental exhaustion. Not loud, not dramatic, silent, persistent. The Stoics believed that peace is not something you find, it is something you protect. And most people don't protect it at all. They give everyone access to their emotions. They let strangers control their mood. They let situations they can't change occupy their mind. That is not sensitivity. That is self-neglect. You were never taught how to guard your inner world. You were taught how to please, how to respond, how to explain yourself. So you learned to be emotionally available to everything. And now you pay the price. Mental exhaustion is not a sign that life is hard. It is a sign that you are mentally undisciplined. That sounds uncomfortable because it removes excuses. It means the problem is not time, not people, not circumstances. It is how you allow your mind to behave. But here is the important part. This is not a condemnation, it is a realization, because anything undisciplined can be trained. The Stoics didn't aim to eliminate emotion, they aimed to govern it. They understood that a calm mind is not passive, it is powerful, and the first step toward that power is awareness. Not changing anything yet, just noticing. Noticing how often you react, noticing how easily you are pulled away from the present. Noticing how much energy you waste on things that don't deserve it. This awareness is uncomfortable because it exposes patterns. But discomfort is the beginning of control. In the next part, you will understand what exactly is draining your mind every day and why most people never escape this exhaustion. Your mind is not tired by accident. It is tired by habit. Small habits, silent habits, the kind no one warns you about. You wake up and the first thing you do is check your phone. Before your mind belongs to you, it belongs to the world. Messages, news, other people's moods, other people's opinions. You haven't even lived the day yet, but your mind is already reacting. This constant exposure creates noise, and noise destroys clarity. The Stoics believed clarity was the foundation of strength. Without it, you don't choose, you react. Most people confuse information with awareness. But information overload creates mental fatigue, not wisdom. Your mind was not designed to process everything, it was designed to focus on what matters. But instead, you let it wander from past regrets to future fears, to imagined conversations that will never happen. You replay moments you cannot change. You anticipate outcomes you cannot control. And each time you do, you leak energy. This is emotional leakage.
You lose energy not through action, but through unnecessary thought. Stoicism teaches that suffering begins when we demand reality to be different from what it is. You resist the past, you resist the present, you resist people's behavior, and resistance creates tension. Most people fight reality all day. They fight what already happened. They fight what they cannot control. And at night, they wonder why they are exhausted. The Stoics had a rule. Focus only on what is within your control. Your thoughts, your judgments, your responses. Everything else is noise. But modern life teaches the opposite. React faster, speak more, explain yourself, defend your image. This constant self-defense drains the mind. You feel tired not because you care too much, but because you react too much. Every argument costs energy. Every need to be understood costs power. Every emotional explanation costs peace. The strongest minds do not rush to respond. They pause. That pause is discipline. Most people fear silence. They think silence means losing. But silence is not weakness. It is restraint. And restraint is strength.
The Stoics believed that freedom begins when you stop being controlled by your impulses. Anger is an impulse. Fear is an impulse. The need to be right is an impulse. If you obey every impulse, you live as a servant to your emotions. And servants are always exhausted. You don't need more motivation. You need fewer reactions. You don't need to express everything you feel. You need to observe it. Feeling is human. Being ruled by feeling is not. Most people never learn this. They grow older but not wiser. They live reacting, defending, explaining, and their mind never rests. The Stoics chose another path. They trained themselves to respond slowly, to observe before acting, to let emotions pass without obeying them. This training did not make them cold. it made them free. Freedom is not doing what you feel. Freedom is choosing despite what you feel. In the next part, you will learn how Stoics reclaimed control and how you can begin doing the same without escaping life, without isolating yourself, without becoming numb. Mental exhaustion does not disappear on its own. It fades only when you change how you live inside your mind. The Stoics understood something most people never do. You cannot control the world, but you can control how deeply it enters you. Your peace depends on how selective you become. Selective with your attention. Selective with your reactions. Selective with your emotions. Most people live as if everything deserves a response. Every comment, every opinion, every situation, that belief alone keeps the mind in constant tension. Stoicism teaches a different rule. Not everything deserves your energy. Someone misunderstands you. You don't correct them. Someone criticizes you. You don't rush to defend. Someone disrespects you. You don't explode. Not because you are weak, but because you are disciplined. Discipline is not force. It is restraint. It is the ability to feel without obeying. Anger may rise, you observe it. Fear may appear, you acknowledge it. Sadness may visit you, allow it to pass. But you do not let any emotion decide your behavior. This is the difference between a tired mind and a trained one. The tired mind reacts instantly. The trained mind pauses. That pause is everything. In that pause, you regain control. In that pause, you protect your peace. In that pause, exhaustion begins to disappear. Because exhaustion comes from being pulled in too many directions. Peace comes from choosing one direction. The Stoics practiced something simple but powerful. They asked one question before reacting. Is this within my control? If the answer was no, they let it go. They did not argue with reality. They adapted. Most suffering comes from resistance. From wishing things were different, from demanding control where none exists. Acceptance is not giving up. Acceptance is clarity. When you accept reality as it is, your mind stops fighting. And when the mind stops fighting, energy returns. You don't need to fix everything. You don't need closure from everyone. You don't need validation to be at peace. You need boundaries. Mental boundaries, a boundary that says, this does not deserve my reaction. A boundary that says, this does not enter my inner world. At first, this feels uncomfortable because you are used to reacting. But discomfort is the price of growth. Over time, something changes. The same situations feel lighter. The same words lose their power. The same problems feel manageable. Not because life became easier, but because your mind became stronger. The Stoics didn't seek happiness. They sought tranquility, a steady mind, a calm inner state, an unshaken center. That is real strength. You are not mentally exhausted because you are broken. You are exhausted because you have been untrained. And anything untrained can be trained. Start today. Pause before reacting. Observe before speaking. Choose calm over impulse. Protect your attention. Guard your peace. Limit what you allow into your mind. Because once you master your reactions, life stops draining you. And when life stops draining you, you finally feel strong again. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to Daily Stoic Wisdom for timeless lessons on emotional discipline, mental clarity, and Stoic strength. Your calm is your power.